they actually think that if the other person sees them, they're just going to walk over and go, marry me, marry me. I've seen this. I've seen it all the time. I've also seen those perverted personal trainers that are benching people on the bench press, spotting people on the bench press, and rather go round to where their head is and help them with the bar. Time Melbourne, hey, ho, hey, thank you for joining me as always, and everybody is talking about this, probably too many people, so I'm adding myself into that equation. But I did have a very specific take on it, and given that a few people messaged me on Instagram saying,
Simon, what do you think about this?
I thought, well, we have a little bit of a YouTube channel, so we can talk about it. So if you don't know, and I'm sure you figured it out for either you've seen other people's videos or you've seen the title of this one, a video has gone crazy, gone viral on TikTok, because it features a lady who was in the gym about to do some training, and she believed that two men behind her were perving on her. There's no other way to put it, and she called them out for it. Now, this is the thing that you should do, right? It absolutely is. If you go to the gym, nobody should be perving on you. Nobody should be looking at you. Everybody should be worrying about themselves, because otherwise you're going to feel uncomfortable, and you shouldn't be made to feel uncomfortable anywhere, to be matter of frank about it, but also in the gym. Of course not. I suppose the gym can be a little bit more of a sensitive position because most people are in scantily clad clothes, or there's a lot of skin showing, whether a man, a woman, whoever it is. It's just true. Like, I train, like last night I went to the gym, right? Finally, oh my gosh, all this time. I went to the gym and I wore a vest because my gym is really, really hot, and the weather was really, really hot, and I thought if I don't wear a vest, I'm going to sweat my ass off, so I wore a vest. But you could see a lot of my skin. I mean, am I proud of this? No, not really. Let's just go through the video.
And when I stand up for myself, he threatens to call the police.
So it starts off quite controversial anyway. That's not the right word, controversial, but it starts off quite, I can't even think of the right word. But we have a girl here who essentially says that she caught a trainer perving on her, and when I stand up for myself, he threatens to call the police and revoke my membership. So straight away, you're like, wait a minute, that is quite the 180. So, you're accusing somebody else of perving on you, but then they're telling you that they may kick you out of the gym. You're like, well, I don't understand how the hell we're going to get here. And as you shall see on the video, well, you mean you can make up your own mind. So she zooms in. There is a guy. He's staring over. This guy then turns around, and he looks as well. And she asks him, do you need something from across the gym?
Do you need something?
Now, he walks over properly confused, right? I mean, either he's the greatest actor ever, or this dude is massively baffled. Now, I want to make it very clear, and I know not a lot of other people have said this, and I do side with most of the videos you have seen. I'll talk about that in just 1 second. But I can only imagine the reason this girl feels so worried about all of this, or so sensitive about all of this, is because it's probably happened a lot to her in her years going to the gym. I read some comments on some other videos of people, oh man, she's so entitled. There is obviously going to be an element of that in the world. Some people do have a sense of entitlement, but I'm going to have to assume, and I know Simon always sitting on the fence, yeah, that's just what I do. It's how I live my life. What an idiot. Throw me in the river and burn me. But I can only imagine this is probably based on some past experiences. However, if we're going to take the context of this video and what you do see, I don't think it comes across like that at all. Like, if most people I've seen oogling, be it men to women or women to men or whatever it may be in the gym, I mean, it's pretty damn obvious, because the reason that person is doing it is because they're actually probably so stuck up their own ass, they actually think that if the other person sees them, they're just going to walk over and go, marry me, marry me. I've seen this. I've seen it all the time. I've also seen those perverted personal trainers that are benching people on the bench press, spotting people on the bench press, and rather go round to where their head is and help them with the bar, which is the obvious way to do it, they straddle them. And I'm like, I do not understand why you're doing that. There is literally no need. You don't ever need to do that. And my personal advice to you would be, if you ever do get a PT and someone starts doing that, say, I quit, I'm done, I'm out, give them my money back, run a mile, and get them struck off. Anyway, we continue. So he's baffled at this point. He doesn't really know what's going on. She hasn't actually, I think at this point you probably, because this is the thing, right? If you're not doing that, and I don't believe that he is, you would feel like someone's just being rude. You're like, why are you throwing verbal barbs against me across the gym? And again, to play devil's advocate, because I do like to be fair with all of this, you can come back and argue with me. Well, actually, no, Simon. If somebody was trying to be defensive, they may act like this as well. So we can only take what we're seeing from the video, just the way the dude's acting, and the rest of the video that you'll see in just 1 second. I don't believe that it comes across that way. I think he's genuinely confused. Now, the problem she falls into is she says, you don't own the gym. You've always got to be careful. As it turns out, he does work there. So he is part of the gym. We shall continue. And, she then kind of snaps back at him again. And I don't know why he has to say that the police line seems a little bit strange. I mean, I guess, once again, though, right? To me, it just comes across as someone that feels like they've been slighted, and anyone can feel slighted, of course they can, because they weren't doing anything wrong, they were just training, and all of a sudden somebody is throwing fire across the gym, so you're like, man, get out of my gym. If you're going to come here and create a bad atmosphere, we don't want you here, and that is horrible. Man, I used to go to a gym back in, well, I won't say where it was, I've probably said it on other videos, to be fair, and there used to be these dudes that came in all the time, and they ruined the atmosphere of that place because they were mucking around, and they'd take their tops off, and I'm pretty sure one time they were drunk, and nobody ever did anything about it, and that sucked. Now, that's a completely different situation here, but surely it should be one of the responsibilities of somebody that does work in the gym to make sure that stays up, because nobody wants to feel awkward in a gym. And that goes the other way as well. If somebody was oogling her, somebody should also come up and say, dude, stop that. It's not the time or place. That my gym has a female-only section, a women's-only section to stop things like this, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So what was that bit about his head, about the head? So right now I need you to take your stuff and head up front. Oh, actually did kick him out. I didn't get this far in the video first time round. Or it seems that well. And at this point, she just looks incredibly uncomfortable, as you would do. So this blew up on TikTok. I think it's done over 250,000 views. Last time I checked, it's probably over 500,000 or something now, the way that TikTok works. And, you know, my big takeaway is I do think we have to look at it from both sides. I know, absolute asshole. Again, we take this in isolation. No, I think she got that completely wrong. I don't think those guys were doing anything. I mean, it's so difficult as well. Like, genuinely, I host Progress Wrestling, right? Progress Wrestling is a big UK independent wrestling company. I'm very happy to host those shows. And sometimes people send me stupid pictures like, oh, you were looking at this guy's dick. And you're like, what are you talking about? And you look at the picture, and it does look like I'm looking at somebody's groinal region, but that actually wasn't the case at the time. Camera trickery can be an amazing thing. And I also think that may play a part in this. But when we're talking about this, I think it's such a sensitive situation, and I think it's so important to make sure that we address it from all angles, for a reason I'll tell you about in just 1 second. It probably does come from a place where people have done this in the past. And this ties into people that have never gone to the gym before. It's not because they think they're going to be oogled, and it's not because they think they're going to be hit on. There are so many people, somebody messaged me the other day saying they don't want to go to the gym because they're overweight or they feel uncomfortable. They think they're going to be judged. And that's why they don't go. And this is the real reason we have to get away from this from both sides, being it accusing people wrongly or actually people doing it, is that the gym has to be a place for all. Because the reason you go to the gym is to get in shape. The reason you go to the gym is because you want to be healthy. And there's nothing more important than that. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. Think about when you have a horrible, horrible cold. So you know you're not going to die from it, but you just feel absolutely crap. Sometimes you sit there and you think, man, if I just felt okay right now, everything would be all right in the world, because it's slowing you down and it's making you feel like absolute shib. And nobody wants to take that kind of feeling into a place that's meant to be positive. Like, the gym is hard enough, especially when you start going, or if you're trying to lose weight, because again, you feel like, oh, everyone's looking at me. I'm so fat. So the last thing you want to do is bring in all these other things. Sadly, I don't think this helps. It helps either way, because I do think that she's got it wrong. It sounds like she got kicked out of the gym. Again, I don't necessarily think you need to do that either. Sit down and have a conversation. You know, let's smash this out. Because if we are right and we are correct, and she has got this one wrong, surely a quick chat just saying, no, we weren't doing that, I promise you we wouldn't be doing that, it's going to give her a bit more confidence, hopefully to lead into what's going next. And I know the comments here are already going to be going, Simon, you're such a dick, she's an asshole, screw that person, she doesn't deserve it. Well, I don't like to live my life that way. I always like to look on the bright side of life, Monty Python. I always like to try and be positive, and I also like to try and take all these things and think to myself, well, what would I do in that situation? I like to give people the benefit of the doubt because it's important. Well, here's the other thing as well. Let's say she has done that, right? She's a self-entitled asshole and she's an awful person and we don't like her. I don't want to lower myself to that level and start throwing barbs at her as well, right? Ain't nothing I'm going to say going to change all of that. And I think it's a better message to put out there in case you have actually felt like this in the gym, that you are allowed to stand up for yourself. That's important. But also, yeah, don't look for it when it's not there, because that's no good for the people training as well. Because if that ever happened to me, and thankfully it hasn't, I would never do that in the gym, the next time I went back, I would be uncomfortable. And I would be like, oh no, I don't want this to happen. In fact, it did happen once in a little bit of a different way. I was filming content for a video that we were doing on here, and I was using the camera that was facing me, so I held it up, and some dude thought I was filming him. And he came up to me, he got right in my face. I'm the least confrontational man ever, so that stuff doesn't bother me. It's like, dude, I'm not going to fight you because I don't care enough. And he's like, why are you filming me in the gym? Why are you filming me in the gym? I was like, I'm not filming you in the gym. I'm filming me, and I had to show him. To be fair, he apologized and we moved past it. But I do know the next time I was in that gym doing it, I was like, great, now my back's up, right? And I already felt uncomfortable filming in the gym anyway, because I think it's a stupid thing to do, but you've got to do it. So that's this times 1,000. So I guess by complete accident, my big takeaway is that we should chat this stuff out. And everyone should have more conversations. And if somebody is being a dick, that's when you pull the trigger and you try and get them out of your space. But Yeah, it's a really, really difficult one. I think it's more nuanced than maybe other people have said. But ultimately, I think she's got this completely wrong. I do. That's my opinion on the matter. But once again, just to draw a line under it, you do have to be aware of this stuff. And it does have to stop. We go to the gym to train. We go to the gym to feel good. And look, if somebody hits on you and you like it, that's okay. But at the same time, if somebody hits on you and you tell them to flub off, that's also okay. To me personally, I don't think that's where you should be doing it. I just don't, because I would imagine that most people are going there not for that. So I don't think you should make somebody uncomfortable. Do it in a bar, right? Go on Tinder. My word, there's loads. Now, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Get the bell ding ding so that other videos are going live. There will be another video on the screen. Please do give it a click. Otherwise, leave a comment below, and you won't agree with me, but it's okay. The more hate comments you send me, the quicker I can do a reaction video to help with hateful comments. Also, growthemind.com/Simon. Use code Simon, get 10% off. I like these supplements. I think they're really, really good. So make sure you check them out. And if something, floats your boat, you can use that code and get some money off, which is always good. In Greg Doucette's Power 13 cookbook. Send me a message at Simon316 on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you give me a follow as well. Patreon.com/Simon316 if you want to support me there. Also got exclusive videos. We are on Cameo if you want to shout out. SimonMiller.BigCartel.com for merchandise. Otherwise, that's it. Have a lovely day. See you soon.